Mm, when you're perpetually late and then you're actually on time for once, what do you call that?
Stupid.
Stupid.
Doesn't make much sense. Is anybody even here? Who are we talking to?
No, but just you and I.
Just
There's
me and you?
nobody here. Yeah.
All right.
AOA podcast. We're back for another episode. Oh my goodness. Back with some breaking news. How about this? Julian Assange will be set free. That news, that's hot off the presses, Frankie C.
All right.
That is hot off the presses. We just found out. Well, I'll tell you the story. But that's coming up.
Yeah.
Plus, Justin Timberlake and the shocking thing that we learned just prior to him being arrested.
I can't imagine what this would be.
Oh, you're going to hate him even more, though. I guarantee it. Dave Grohl takes on Taylor Swift. Now, this is going to be this is going to be tough.
This is dumb.
This is you're a Swiftie.
I'm a Swiftie.
You're a Swiftie by marriage, though.
But I've seen all the footage. I've seen the Dave Grohl thing. I've seen Taylor Swift. All right, we'll get to it.
Love it. The DOJ is suggesting that Boeing be brought up on criminal charges. A celebrity has been questioned in the death of Matthew Perry, and Ben Affleck flips out on the paparazzi.
Okay.
All that and more. That's a podcast, kid. On the
paparazzi.
What do you think of Julian Assange? Hero or traitor?
Well, what exactly? I mean, he said he was pleading guilty. That's the last thing I saw.
Yeah. So that's the story. I mean, he cut a deal. He pled guilty and agreed to a sentence of like 62 months or whatever, which is essentially how long he's been held in England fighting being extradited back to the United States of America. So basically they cut a deal saying, time already served. Here's what's weirding me out a little bit. And I think this is your old pal Ant spending too much time in conspiracy theory land. He has to travel to one of the, I'm going to give you the exact place so I don't screw it up here, because I guarantee you've never heard of this place. He's got to go to a United States federal court in Saipan, in the Northern Mariana Islands, which is a U.S. Commonwealth in the Pacific.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that. I have not. For those listening.
82 years or 80 some odd years combined being Americans here. We have never heard of this place.
Nope.
I mean, I know we got some properties all around. Then we got the U.S. Virgin Islands. I know that's a nice little spot to be in.
Yeah, we got Guam,
Puerto
Rico.
Guam's a good one. Yeah. Puerto Rico's good. Yeah. Famous. I would say Puerto Rico's number one, right? Like Puerto Rico is like number one
non-state territory.
Right. Yeah. I'm glad we're in agreement on that. So anyway, so he has to fly there. I don't know if he goes across the U.S. for that or around the other way, but he has to show up there. And that, I don't know.
It's a weird, why there? What is that?
Because I don't know, because I feel like you're in the United States, but not really in the, like, that's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like, again, this is breaking right now. So there's a lot that we just don't know other than what we just told you. But it sounds like it's Saipan, Saipan, the court. It's a U.S. federal court in Saipan, which is in the Northern Mariana Islands.
Saipan.
Because it sounds to me like he had to appear in court, like that was part of it, and that maybe he negotiated. All right, I'll go. Like, what's the most non-U.S. place I could go to?
It's like further. It's nowhere near.
It's like Australia. Is it close to Australia?
It's close to Japan.
It's close to Japan, right? Yeah,
and Australia. It's like in Asia, basically. They're. Yeah. I mean, can I show the map or?
Yeah, you can show a map. That's what I kind of figured it was. Which doesn't that give you the feeling like he negotiated his way out of coming to the continental United States of America to do this, to enter this plea bargain?
Can you see it? Is it too bright?
No, it's way too bright.
All right. I got the brightness all the way down too.
Look at you with your big fancy bright phone. Oh, there you go. Is that it? With all
we're here. It's way the hell over here. Here's Japan. Here's Australia.
Mm.
And there's where the hell that is.
Yeah, you might as well go to Hong Kong. This
What
just
the hell are
doesn't
we
even.
doing here?
Yeah, but that's what I. Don't you think that makes sense? That it must have been some sort of odd negotiation that he didn't want to come to New York or California
What is this?
or.
I don't wanna. You know, since when do the people get to choose where the hell they go?
It's part of a plea, right? When you do a plea, it's a negotiation, you know.
Yes. So where does he come up with this? I want to go to the Marianas Islands. What?
I don't know. Well, like just like we ranked Puerto Rico #1, he probably went. What's the least? Where's the bottom of that list?
Where's the place nobody ever thinks about when they think of North America?
And if you think we're dumb, I bet you if you polled Congress, you would find 20 to 30% of them who have no idea. If you said the Northern Mariana Islands, is that part of America or not? They would probably say no. I know Marjorie Taylor Greene definitely doesn't know. We know that
absolutely
for
sure.
not. She doesn't know. That one does not.
She pronounced indicted, indicted. In fucking Congress, she was there on microphone on the record, and she said indicted, like a friggin' idiot.
That's outrageous. I'll tell you that right now.
It is. But so I mean, does anybody in the chat ever heard? Have you ever heard of this place?
No, Aussie Annie's closer to it, and she doesn't believe this. She doesn't believe this to be real.
She could throw a rock and hit it.
All right, talk about conspiracy theories. Look at Matt stirring up the whole conspiracy theory pot. And I hear it floated online that they had to cut a deal with Julian because of what he didn't release on WikiLeaks. Any thoughts?
Maybe. So like, I have. So what would the deal? Like, in other words, keep your mouth shut and we'll do this for you.
Yeah. Well. So he got arrested in England. Okay. And he was being extradited to the United States of America. They also have a legal system there. He was fighting the extradition. So they were going through the entire process. So while that was happening, he was also pleading. He was working out a deal with the Department of Justice. And today he settled.
Extradition. Either they have,
I mean,
they're extradited or you don't.
I know, but they're a free country too. They gotta, they have.
No, I get it, but if you commit a crime against a different country with whom that country has an extradition treaty, you're supposed to just go, "Hey, here's the guy. You get him back." Right? I thought.
Well, I mean, he was accused of committing a crime. He was going to have to stay on trial.
Right.
He could have beat it, I guess. I mean,
I don't know, man.
Nobody seems to think he would have been able to. Although I don't know. I mean, I really, listen, I'm on the side of I don't want any of our troops to get hurt. So I think it's a little tricky to be releasing classified information, especially when there's American lives in harm's way.
100%.
That being said, you want to know the truth. We need to know if countries and governments are doing shitty things, which oftentimes they are. I mean, he helped topple a couple of governments, and hopefully, provide a better lifestyle for people, even though there was bloodshed and things like that. It's a tough thing.
I'm still unclear on what exactly he leaked.
Secret. He released top secret information, What?
But what?
Oh, it was a bunch. I mean, do you want to run down the whole list? I mean...
No, I mean, was it for the good of, the people get heard? What was the result?
I think, wasn't he the Hillary Clinton, what was her big thing, the base there that she fucked up? I think that was him.
Oh, slipping my mind the name of it, but I know what you mean.
You know what I'm talking about, right? I mean, he did a bunch. Yeah.
So he's free to go.
Well, they reached the deal just now. I mean, he still has to go there. So that goes back to my original point. He still has to go to the court and do the plea bargain, which makes me heaven forbid his plane accidentally goes down.
Oh boy.
Or, some horrible thing should happen to him on the way. Benghazi, thank you. Christella, thank you. Benghazi. Happens to him. I mean, it just weirds me out. Even if you're him, Don't you feel a little, even though you got this whole deal together, wouldn't you feel a little like Tommy walking into the room to get made in Goodfellas? You know what I'm saying?
It's not, and I'm sorry, but if you look at where this island is, you couldn't get further away from where he is now. It's like the exact opposite side of the world from where he is now.
Right.
It's like the longest trip you could take.
Which makes me wonder, does he go across the United States? Or does he go over Europe and Asia?
It's a safer trip across the United States. So war's going on the other way. To probably take weird routes.
That's true.
You know?
Yeah, that's true.
Can't go over probably Ukraine, Russia, Middle East places. And, it's going to be a tough trip going that way.
Just to kind of summarize it up, he leaked U.S. Army intelligence analyst Chelsea Manning's documents and footage of a U.S. airstrike in Baghdad, U.S. military logs from Afghanistan and the Iraq wars, U.S. diplomatic cables. He's won multiple awards for publishing and journalism, but at the same time, he is, there's been hacking and nobody knows what he's taken and what's been given to him and taken by somebody else. What's funny about this too is he published things and then the New York Times published stuff. So it's like, why is defenders of Julian Assange will say, why is he being persecuted? And the New York Times is just being applauded for journalism.
Right.
Yeah.
I wish I knew more about, so I could weigh in better, but it's hard to say without knowing exactly what he released, what the consequences were, why he released what he did. Was it necessary to be was it stuff the public needed to know? Was it classified? All this stuff. What's the deal with that? I don't know.
See, Robin says, I smell a trap. I would too.
Maybe.
How could you feel comfortable being Julian Assange? I would just never. You're always in a perpetual state of holy shitness. Well, anyway, he's going to go. And I guess part of the reason why also is that he picked this place is because he's going to go back to Australia. And I guess it's a quick little flight once he gets there back to.
There you go. You should have said that.
Back to Australia too.
I'm going to bury the lead.
Yeah, that's not the lead though. I mean, I feel like that's, I feel like he picked the lead. I feel like he made that a part of the whole thing.
Anyway.
Could you imagine the mayhem if he had to appear in the Southern District Court of New York here in the city? It would have been,
well,
forget it.
It would have to be alternating days with Trump. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, do we have that much security for two high profile fucking things at the same time?
No, we just don't. We don't have enough to go around.
Anyway.
Back to Justin Timberlake and this idiot. He appeared back on stage. He had a show in Chicago and he addressed the crowd by saying, I know it's difficult to love me sometimes, but you're here and I'm here and we're going to play music and blah, 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 whatever he said. What I came to find out, and by the way, I got a little scoop on this. And then I looked at the news and it was reported everywhere. So I was like, oh, maybe I don't have the scoop here. But what I learned and what is now being reported everywhere about Justin Timberlake is the police officer who arrested him is a 24-year-old kid. He's new on the force for Sag Harbor. A lot of people, I read an article where some guy just tore into him. It was complaining that he got a ticket for doing a U-turn where he wasn't supposed to. So they're saying this, they're trying to paint this cop like he's a stickler. It's I never thought I would live in a place where people are like, oh, that cop is an asshole for arresting somebody for driving drunk. I mean, I know he's a celebrity, but you can't.
Though that's where we are right now.
It's insane. We
live
in an insane
that can
world.
Do no wrong.
Yeah, it's. I know everybody says Trump. It's not Trump. People are fucking crazy. I think we've just reached a status in the United States where we're just so fucking spoiled now that anybody who has anything go against them, they're like, oh, fuck the other guy. It's horrible. But anyway, here's what we learned. That police officer, well, there's two things. One was that somebody in the American hotel where he was drinking called the cops on him because they're like, I think this guy is going to get in a car.
Mhm.
The second thing we learned, and the timeline is fuzzy here, but at some point, the police officer saw Justin Timberlake, recognized that he was intoxicated, and warned him not to get behind the wheel of the car. So I don't know if he saw or if they had an interaction as he was walking out of the hotel or whatever it was, but this police officer told him, don't get behind the wheel because you're intoxicated, right? And
Right.
then a few moments later, as he was circling around and making his rounds, Sag Harbor's it's kind of like a big T. Like you go up the main street, which goes to the water, and then it breaks off this way. So you literally just kind of can do like a figure eight. If you like, that's what the cops kind of do, and they just kind of go around and stuff. He told him not to drive. And then a few moments later, coming around, he saw him behind the wheel. So he arrested him.
Yeah, good.
I think doesn't that make, he's a bigger dick than I originally thought.
Yeah. Getting behind the wheel and drinking and driving, you're a huge dick.
Here's the dick status for that.
Right. It's way up there. But then you actually warned by someone who could arrest you. Don't get behind the wheel. You also have the means to get, I don't know, any car service you want to drive you anywhere in the world. You want to go to the airport and get on a private plane? He could do that in a heartbeat if he wanted to. And yet he gets behind the wheel and drives himself.
Huge dick.
What? I can't even.
I feel no sympathy for him whatsoever.
No.
And for the people that are like, oh, that cop is such a stickler. It's like, thank God.
Good.
Thank God he's a stickler because he might have saved a fucking life.
More cops should be sticklers. They should be, I get the whole, brotherhood, sisterhood, cops, they're together and they have to look out for each other and get each other's backs. But I always wondered why there isn't more. Well, he's a dirty cop. We should check that guy. I feel like, I guess you see it in movies, and the one guy that points out the dirty cop is like the outcast. It's such a weird thing. Like, I feel like if you see a dirty cop, you should be applauded for like saying, like, get this fucking guy out of here.
Right.
But a stickler like that, stopping someone from drinking and driving, that should be applauded, not like this fucking guy.
Yeah. Not shit on. Like, you got to see, there was articles. They went to his house. Sag Harbor is not a big place. It's very easy to find people. The media went to this cop's house to try and get him to comment on it, which I get. They're just doing their job. But I also feel like, they were up on his porch, like knocking on the door. It's like, leave this fucking guy alone. Leave him alone. I want to try and... Yeah, the cop. He's just doing his job. Listen, I said it on the last episode. The cops out here can be hard on you. They can be horrible. They can like I said, I was pulled over for not stopping long enough at a stop sign. Okay.
Well, listen, go ahead.
No, but I'm just saying, like, I understand that they are a little much. But at the same time, don't shit on this kid because he could have fucking saved a life.
Yeah. Plus, that town, especially during the summer, is like a partying kind of a town, the area.
Yes.
And to be a little bit more of a stickler is probably needed in a place like that where people will probably are drinking more than the usual town. It's the Hamptons. It's a party place. It's people, again, during the summer, you get a lot of celebrities. It doesn't matter, whoever it is. A lot of people flock out there to the Hamptons and party. And I don't blame the guy for, and especially he gave him a warning. It's not like he just appeared out. Even if he did appear out of nowhere, drinking and driving. That's it. Case closed. That should be the answer to every, oh, how could you do that? Drinking and driving. Oh, okay. Got it.
Yeah. I wish I could find it, but there was this one. I'm sorry to cut you off. I wish I could find it, but I wish I could find the guy who gave the interview because he pulled me over for making a U-turn and it was off season and all this stuff. And like, I get the mentality, but if somebody came and if somebody in the media came and asked me right now, like, Ant, if they said to me, hey, Ant, you had a rough experience with the cops out here. Like, what do you think of I would have been like, no, I that's okay. I'm okay with them being a little overzealous at times if it's going to fucking save people's, like, when you think about the comp that has to sit at, like, people don't even fucking realize, because again, in America, we're so fat and fucking lazy and entitled. You're on your high horse. You sit outside a club at 2:00 in the morning in a patrol car by yourself and try and keep everybody safe and see what that fucking feels like for 5 minutes. It's not an easy spot to be in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Plus, that's your job. He's supposed to stop people from breaking the law, and that's a big one.
Yeah.
So I applaud this guy.
Because it could be your kid or your family member or your husband or your wife who's out there on the road at that time that gets taken out by a drunk driver. And then what are you going to have to fucking say? People don't fucking think. And why? All because you got a fucking ticket for getting a U-turn? You asshole. Yeah. Sorry. I know I'm like harping on this one guy.
No, it's all right.
But I can't believe, I'm appalled that he just basically, he was warned by a police officer and then got in the car and did it anyway. I mean, he should see fucking prison time for this.
I mean, I feel like you're just Timberlake. You call up your manager, your whoever, and say, get me a fucking limo. I need to go home. Get me a whatever car. I need to go home.
Yeah.
And send someone that could drive my car.
Yeah.
That's it.
Because you have to
10 minutes.
You have to have some fucking ego on. Let's be honest. That guy could be cocky.
Oh, absolutely.
And egotistical. Like he doesn't just play that shit in movies. He is kind of that.
Yeah.
This whole I can do anything. I can get home. I can make it home. I'm fine. I'm this. I'm that. No, you're an egotistical dick. Robin making the best point of all. Justin violated rule number 1. Don't be a
dick. Talk about Fight Club.
No, don't be a dick is our rule number 1.
Oh, okay.
not Tyler Durden's rule number 1.
Oh, all right. I get all my rules mixed up.
Dave Grohl versus Taylor Swift. So
this is stupid.
You hate this, don't you?
Well, Dave Grohl taking a shot out of nowhere. I mean, I feel like it was just a weird joke that he tried to get. I mean, she sings live. It's not. No one's disputing that. I don't know where he came up with this.
I thought.
And the band's playing. You see,
I've heard. Yeah, I've heard.
The band is out there playing.
Sometimes it feels. Sometimes it doesn't feel live.
What do you mean?
I wonder if she takes a couple of songs off and sings to a track.
I doubt it. I would seriously doubt it.
That's a long.
You know how much money people are paying for those tickets. She's singing. You know, I can't. Plus, if that came out, it would be the biggest what the fuck. You know, there's no way.
You think it would be the end of her if they found out that she was lip syncing?
The end. No, but it would be a huge hit.
Yeah, probably
thing to do. I mean, she plays a lot of stuff acoustically. She's out there. She's playing. It's just her and the piano or her and a guitar, and then she gets back to the big, ridiculous production where there's a million things going on, and there's the band out there and there's backup singers and dancers. But then she gets there, then she does the whole thing where it's just her singing, or it's just her and a guitar or whatever, and she's playing and she's singing, and you could tell she's singing, and then because she's not only she's singing, but she talks and does things that you can only do live. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's not like the track. It doesn't sound like the track. It sounds like her doing it. It sounds live.
That's always the biggest takeaway when you're watching an artist and they're like singing and they're singing down here and it's just fine, and then they go to say something and they're like, "Hey everybody," and they have to scream just to get it across. You're like, your mic's not really all the way up now, is it?
Right.
You know?
It's I mean, with her, the way she sings and the way she talks to the crowd and whatever, it sounds the same. Because she talks to the crowd while she's singing, and hey, and she sings it in different notes. She's not singing it the way she sounds on the track. Sometimes,
Why isn't her band on the stage though? Are they like backstage or?
No, they're off to like the side. It's her and the dancers, and then the band is on stage, but they're like, they don't really move too much. But every now and then, the guitar players come out and walk around with her. But they're mostly, there's the set. And then they're off on the side, but they're up there. They're out there.
But just because
they're not hidden,
right? And I'm just playing devil's advocate here. Just because there's a band out there doesn't mean that the band is actually really playing too. I mean, they could be on.
Like they are, but the guitar player, when he's out there with her, they do a lot of stuff together where she's next to the guitar player and they're both kind of doing their thing and they're both on a mic or whatever. And it looks, I mean, to me, knowing a little about the guitar, it looks like he's playing it.
Okay.
I mean,
you are the guitar expert. You're the biggest. You are the go-to guitar person on this podcast.
I mean, I feel like it's hard to. I mean, if you could just play exactly, why wouldn't you just play it? Do you know what I mean? If he's playing and what is it, miming the guitar in the exact way you're supposed to, just fucking turn the guitar on and play it.
Don't you feel like she sounds like really good though? I mean, is she that good? Does she sound that good
like
live?
She sounds. I mean, she sounds. I mean, it's her voice. I mean, I'm sure there's backtracking that's supporting her maybe a little, but you could tell her. I mean, there's not. I don't know if there's backtracking, but there's backup singers. There's like 4 or 5 singers that do background vocals on stage, and they're out there with her. Mm-hmm. But she sings the main part herself. I mean, I feel like I didn't even think that was a question. You could see that.
Okay. So do you want to hear what Dave Grohl had to say?
I heard it, but you could play it.
Here it is for everybody. Here you go.
It's hard to make that out.
Is it hard to hear? Because it is a little.
There's an echo, and it's hard to understand what he's saying.
All right, all right, let me see. So he says we like to call our tour the Errors Tour, which I thought was
fine,
adorable, like very cutesy, funny. Error, like error, not error.
Right.
Which is I thought pretty cute. But then I'll skip ahead a little bit.
That's because we actually play live. What?
So you heard that part, yeah. So
where did that shot come from? Out of nowhere?
I don't know. So what's surprising is he has been like in her corner for the most part. Like he has been like on Team Tay-Tay for the longest time.
Yeah, I don't understand where that shot comes from. I mean, if you're trying to make a joke, it's a weird. Why would you? I'll
tell you why.
Okay.
You ready for this?
I'm ready.
People are speculating because Dave Grohl's daughter, Violet, came out and criticized Taylor for the amount of private flying she does, eating up the whole, environment, ozone layer there, the amount of private jets she takes. So Violet Grohl came out and said that, and then supposedly caught a whole heap of shit from the Swifties. And I guess it kind of burned Dave's ass a little bit, which is why he took a shot at her during this performance.
So Dave Grohl flies commercial. I'm asking it. Does he? I don't know.
That's a good question. I don't know. I would assume so. Even if he doesn't, it sounds like he doesn't fly as much as Taylor does.
Well, no offense to Dave Grohl, but she has a world tour that is currently in Europe. How many world tour? He does world tours, but probably not as big as hers.
I don't think anybody is as big as hers, but they are playing sold out soccer and football stadiums. They're no slouch.
They're no slouch, of course, absolutely.
But she's the biggest thing.
She's the biggest thing going now.
Yes, I agree.
It impacts the economy. It's tipping the Richter scale when they do certain songs.
Yes,
that's not exaggeration. That's a true story.
That is a fact.
But I mean, I understand, the private jet thing, but it's like, there are certain people, I don't know, I'm not trying to excuse it, but I feel like there are a few people in the world that can't, like the Pope is not going to travel. The president's not going to travel on a commercial plane. I can't see Taylor Swift going on a commercial plane. Am I wrong?
No, but I was just thinking of Joe Biden on a Frontier flight. I would kind of love to see that.
It'd be weird. Like I understand the need for the security.
Yeah.
I maybe put her, and I'm sure she travels with all of her crew and everybody. It's not like she's. I don't know though.
I also think it's very innocent in where maybe Violet Grohl said something and then all of a sudden the Taylor Swift people got crazy. And now Dave Grohl is just bullshitting on stage the way he does and doesn't know this is going to go crazy viral. And now it's a whole thing of Dave Grohl versus Taylor Swift.
And I feel like doesn't everybody, not all, but don't most huge celebrities travel on private planes?
A lot of people do.
I thought that was just like that's what they needed to do because they have to travel quickly and schedule. I don't know. I thought that was like just the way they had to do it.
Again, I live.
There's a better way that'd be pointed out.
I live out close to the Hamptons, and there's West Hampton Airport, East Hampton Airport. There's MacArthur Airport. I see private jets flying all the time, like all the time.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I want there to be, if there could be an electric private jet, great. Fire it up. Let's go. I just, I don't know a better way. Can you put Taylor Swift? Can you put Taylor Swift on a commercial flight?
No.
And is that
no? It's impossible.
Smart.
It's an impossibility. No.
Right. What's her alternative?
No, yeah, she has no choice. Yeah, she has no choice.
That's what I'm saying.
But people are still going to criticize her for it. People are going to come out and criticize people who fly private.
Yeah, I get that, but what is she supposed to do? I don't want her to fly. I wish that the planes weren't polluting as much as they do, and
I don't care. I mean,
listen, all the oil or whatever the hell.
I'm an environment guy.
To do, though?
I'll go paper straw. I don't give a shit. I'll do it. I hate it.
Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah,
I'll save the fucking turtles. That's because I'm a sweetheart.
Right.
But people got to get places. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're gonna fly. It's
gonna fly. I just don't understand what, like David Grohl's daughter. Okay, what do you suggest? What's your idea? Can you, if you have a better way for someone as big as Taylor Swift to get around? I mean, I know celebrities get on commercial planes all the time. Absolutely, they go in first class, whatever. They're sitting. But can someone like Taylor Swift, as big as Taylor Swift, get on a commercial flight and it be either safe or not a huge safety thing? Do
you remember when we were in the airport and Prince walked by us? It was like it was like a shit. It was like people were like going crazy. Like it was a whole fucking thing.
It was weird because you and I are standing there with our shoes in our hands, and he just walks by and goes past security, everything, and it was fine. And we're like, oh shit, that was Prince. Just walked right by us.
To be fair, I don't know if he was walking. I think he was floating. I'm not entirely sure.
Floating.
I never saw his feet on the ground.
I did see a purple cloud under him. It was carrying him as he was going, so that was weird.
Yeah, see, here's why she's catching some criticism. Shirley has it. She doesn't have to fly halfway across the world to go on a date, then go fly back to her concert. Because I think she was taking like flights.
Okay, so extraneous flights.
Yeah, she was going to the corner store and taking a flight, I think.
Fine. Okay, then gloves are off. I understand that. If you want to criticize that, go for it. But in order to do the tour, I feel like that's. What's she supposed to do? But if it's something like that, then fine. Okay.
Didn't she respond? Did you say she responded? I thought I saw or heard something that she responded.
Who responded?
Taylor.
She responded that she said this one's for I forget. She was at a tour thing and at a show and said, we're out here every night playing live for 3.5 hours or something like that. And band, she defended the band. I don't think she named Grohl. I don't think she called out Grohl specifically, but she was like, yeah, we're out here every night doing it live for 3.5 hours. So
what's crazy about that though, is because she's in London, right? So with the time difference, there wasn't a lot of time between what he said and her response. So it really traveled quickly to her.
It'd be a different time, but it's the same moment.
Yeah.
Whether she gets it at 2 a.m. or whatever in the morning, it happens at the same.
I got 500 that says that he apologizes for this.
You should.
Because I don't think he meant it to have it to be such a big deal. But
Yeah.
it traveled almost as fast as Hawk 2 Girl. By the way, we caught so much shit for that.
We did?
Yeah. Oh yeah. People.
Why?
So the highlight went out over the weekend or this morning. I forget when it went out.
The hell did we do?
Well, because you didn't know you didn't realize that she meant spit on a penis. And,
Yeah, I did not.
And people were like, "What are you guys, moron?" Like, I mean,
oh, so when you say we got, you mean I got?
Yeah, but I also didn't realize that you didn't realize. It was like watching two blind people try and lead each other.
So here's what happened. Well, what that was, I kept seeing memes. And I thought the joke was that you could see spit coming. I thought she was doing an interview and spit came out. And I was looking at the picture. I'm like, I don't see anything. But every meme was about her spitting. I was like, what is this? What? I don't understand. So I looked up the video, but I guess I saw a GIF of it. Mm-hmm. And I didn't catch the audio. I didn't hear any audio of what she said. Because I was focused on an actual, I thought she spit on the guy or something.
Right.
When she talked.
Right.
So that's why that's what I thought the meme was about. So that's what I was looking for. So I didn't pay attention to any audio. So I didn't know she said that. And that's why I was like, what's the big deal? Why is this such a huge thing? And I didn't know it was because of what she said. So, because I wasn't looking for that.
You can't take your eyes off the internet for 3 seconds, because if you miss something, you never get back on that wave.
It's insane. It's something goes by like that and you're gone. You don't catch it.
Yeah,
it's weird.
Would you ever imagine that it would have been like this?
No, I was the one that said I didn't think the internet was going to last, so I couldn't have imagined this. And the only reason I said that because it was back in the day of like chat rooms. That's all the internet was at the time when we were in high school or whatever. It was just chat rooms. There wasn't anything really. The internet wasn't a business that it was now.
I know.
That is now. It was just welcome. You've got mail. That kind of crap.
But even back then, do you remember when they would be like, or I think maybe even this was in Back to the Future, when they would be like, people are going to be able to shop on it's going to be a mall and a library all together. And we were just watching it going, what? How?
This thing?
Yeah.
The thing it is now, because that's the thing. We were looking at what it was and going, this is Oregon Trail. What am I doing? I can't buy anything. What am I doing with this?
Yeah.
Because we couldn't imagine the evolution of it, like what it could become.
It's crazy. But even when people were telling us this is what it's going to be, we were still like, I don't know. I don't see it.
Yeah. Because we didn't see, all we saw was chatting with our friends. It was basically, I was like, why can't we, because at the time I was saying, why can't we just call each other? What is this? I got to sign on. I got to see if you're signed on. And if you're not signed on, what am I going to call you and tell you to sign on so I can talk to you? What the hell is this?
Hey, I'm calling.
It was like,
calling to see if you want to go on the internet and talk to me.
Yeah.
What?
It's like two friends having walkie-talkies. Right. It's like, you got to make sure the other one's got it turned on first before you. That was an old Simpsons thing. Yeah. I'll call you and I want you to turn your walkie-talkie on and then we could talk on the walkie-talkie. It's like,
yeah.
No. Doesn't make any sense. Didn't make sense to me at the time.
Well, do you remember the phone numbers? Like you had to pick a phone number? Like you had to call the number and that's what would dial into the local internet?
That's right. Yeah. Well, you had to use your phone line and call. Oh, yeah, whatever the number was available or something.
But you'd have to choose, and then you couldn't get on. And sometimes you would spend like an hour just try this number, try that number, try this number. Like you would just there'd be like, I don't know. At the beginning there was like 6 numbers, but then at one point there was like 30 numbers that you could just constantly try and dial into to connect to the internet. And then sometimes if you got a call, it would knock you off and you would be like, fuck,
Yep.
Or you would go on to talk to somebody. And then as soon as you got on, they were getting off.
You hear that door slam?
Yeah, the door slam. Yeah.
It's like, oh.
Like I remember
somebody,
one of our mutual friends was like trying to get on to talk to me. And then I was just leaving, and then they were wondering if my leaving was what freed up a space to get them on. Like it was like a mistiming thing. I remember that sticks in my head for some reason.
Weird. What a weird time.
Fucking 56K dial-up modem, remember?
You talk to someone, and then out of nowhere you'd hear, and you go, "Oh, you have to go back to your friends list. Who left?
Who left? Who left?
Who left?
Who left the party?" I'm glad we're talking about this because you probably don't remember her by name, Sarah Becker.
Sarah Becker.
But she took her own life, unfortunately, last week. We just learned today. But she was Sarah from Real World Miami. Do you remember Real World Miami?
I watched, I think, the first season of Real World, and I never watched any after that.
Thought it was a fad, the whole reality thing, didn't you?
Whole reality. I was like, reality? Nobody wants reality. That's why we're watching TV, to get away from reality. I don't want reality on my TV.
Yeah.
Don't invest with me, is my point.
Find out what Frank thinks, and if he's in the opposite direction, then put the money in it. Then you could be like, "This is great." Yeah, but she it was sad news to hear, but it like I heard it and I was like, "Oh, she's not even one of the big characters from the real world," but it started to get me to thinking about the real world and what the world was like back then, and how we were just like, oh, we could watch people live, and now I feel like it's all we do is watch each other live. Like, for it to be this little tiny slice of what is MTV doing to now it's just everywhere. I mean,
it's everywhere. But like, it's, yeah, you're right. It's a lot of, I mean, even Alec Baldwin now is going to have a reality show.
Oh, we never talked about that.
Yeah.
What a shit show.
He is his wife, and I don't know how many kids he has, but 1 million kids. 4 or 5 kids. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know what happened to that guy. I really don't. I used to have so much respect. I actually had a lot, even through the shooting. I felt bad for him up until the promo for the TLC show, and then I was like, okay,
that was it. That was the line.
This is where I get off the train. This is where I exit.
Hey, back in the day, man, Beetlejuice, and then Glenn Ross, his small part in that, but memorable.
Yeah,
he had a lot of big hits back in the day, and then. What's it called? 30 Rock.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And now a reality show.
I did a project with Alec Baldwin that I don't think I've ever really talked too much about. Have I told the story? I might have told it once or twice. I stopped telling it because I'm like, this is, if I ever do get to write a book one day, it's going to go in the book. I have to hold on to something to get people to buy the book. But it was incredible. And now I've lost like all respect for him because I just who's gonna want, and that wife of his, God love her. I mean, with the fake accents and the making up shit, and she's from Spain and here.
That's a character. There's a show. That's a show.
That's a show. Yeah.
I mean, if his wife was an ordinary, this person, his wife now, wouldn't you want to see how many accents she does in a show? Or what kind of stuff she makes up, or whatever's going on with her. I don't know her story.
But I was on John and Kate +8, and then I got off the train there. Like I can't watch.
I like well, it's not really reality. They're contest. I like the cooking shows and stuff like that. Reality shows. The only one I've watched. I watched the one with the original one with the. You think he's a millionaire, but he's not.
Joe Millionaire.
Joe Millionaire. That one.
Yeah.
I watched that one season of that. I watched maybe a couple of others that I can't even remember. I've never watched a Real Housewife of anything.
Mm-hmm.
I caught maybe a couple of Kardashian episodes, but that's probably it. I can't think of any other real reality shows that I've seen. Oh, there was a couple like celebrity, like they all live in a house together. But the celebrity ones.
Right.
There was one with like Dave Coulier and Flavor Flav was on one.
Right.
That I saw the first or second season of that one. Wasn't terrible.
But the internet has ruined all those, because even like you just said, like the cooking competitions. And then I thought to myself, I love the cooking shows, forget the competitions. But even that I can't watch anymore. Not that they're even on TV anymore. But even that I can't watch anymore, because it's like I can watch this in 90 seconds now on Instagram. Like, why am I going to sit through a half-hour show?
Because you have to watch it actually cook.
Yeah. It's like, it's weird. It's like I've become the impatient. I don't have time for you to do the whole thing. I just want to see how you make the steak now.
That would be a good. See, if a TV wants to catch up, they should have a station or a network that's all TikToks and shorts and all this stuff. It's just 30 clips, just 30 seconds of this, 20 seconds of that, and it's just not random, but like let's say this hour is all cooking shorts or cooking
yeah, but
TikToks.
why? You can just go to TikTok or YouTube to do it,
because instead of finding them and scrolling through it, they're all you just watch a clip show of all of them. If you want to watch,
this is going to be totally cooking for the next hour. All
right.
Cooking.
These are all can see that. This is 90 every 90 seconds you get, or however, it's just a bunch of clips in a row. It's 30 minutes of all cooking TikToks or all fails, or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah, because don't
people
you feel?
Into class.
Let me ask you a question, which I'll never get tired of ever. And people slipping outside on their Ring camera. Oh, I will never tire of that.
If they're seriously hurt, it's not. I go,
even better.
That sucks.
Oh,
but if they get up and go, what the hell was that? I lose my shit. It's fucking hysterical.
The one woman who tumbles like 17 steps and then head first into the back of a pickup truck. That one is relatively new. I can't get enough of it. I just can't.
There's one that I saw today. It was like what it's like being over 40. And there's a guy who's walking outside with a bunch of boxes. He walks from his it's a Ring cam, so it's his doorbell. And you see him walk out of his house and down a couple steps, and then his ankle. He doesn't trip over anything. His ankle just gives
away.
Gives way. And he does this, and he falls, and he goes head first into the side of his truck. And just bang. And the boxes go everywhere, and it's so fucking funny.
That's so funny. But let me ask you this. Don't you find, because to do the podcast, I read a lot of articles. I read a lot of regular news outlets.
Uh-huh.
And then I also scan the internet. And then on the rare occasion, like this happened a lot when we were on vacation, and occasionally like I'll get it here because I don't watch like the 10 o'clock news or the 11 o'clock news. But on the rare occasion, I do put it on.
Yeah.
All those traditional outlets are now just reacting to what's on the internet. Like instead of the news, breaking news and people talking about it like our podcast does, a lot of the times something happens on TikTok or Twitter or whatever, and then the news writes an article about it.
Well, that's the thing. The news doesn't come on till whatever time.
And that happens a ton. Like, you ever watch the 11 o'clock news? I watched it once, and 3 out of the 5 first stories
you already knew about.
I already seen on the internet. It's like,
yeah, absolutely. I mean, there are 24-hour news channels, obviously, but chances are all that stuff's written a couple out, well before, and it's not instant. So that would be a good thing. If you had someone go on the air, it'd be hard to plan all that. Obviously, you have someone reading, and you have to verify everything and make sure it's all on the up and up and legit. So you can't just have someone going on there spouting. Because, all right, you saw stuff on the internet, and you go, all right. But at least when it's on the news, there's a little more. It's been as checked as you can hope for. It's not just something you saw on the internet anymore.
I agree. You still need it.
So that helps.
But what's weird is when our parents' generation is gone, is there going to be a need for because I feel like that's really the only people that are watching the 11 o'clock news anymore is that older generation.
Yeah, I don't know, because then then they just take clips of that news show and put it online, and that's what we're watching. You see clips of the news on YouTube or on TikTok, whatever, or wherever.
Yeah.
So is that what it's just going to become? I mean, why not just do quick little, jabs of the news here and there and just make the whole thing clip shows?
Or like us, we do this and then it gets clipped out. That's kind of, I guess that's what it's going to be and how it's going to be forever. Paul says Alec Baldwin was only good in Knots Landing. That's not true. He's one of the great actors of our time. I mean, come on.
Oh, absolutely.
Like you said, Beetlejuice,
Glengarry Glen Ross.
Mega. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he was huge in that. What's the stupid movie that I hate? Um, oh, the one with everybody in it, Jack
The Departed.
Nicholson, The Departed.
Even in
He
The
was really
Departed, he
good in
was
that.
brilliant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I loved that movie, and I'm not a big, not loved. I liked that movie up until the end. I just had a huge problem with the end.
I was like, that
I
was
don't want to
good.
spoil it. I don't want to spoil it, but that's my problem.
Zoso says Baldwin could be funny at times, but really comes off as being a dick. He can be. Cuddles and I were talking about this before. We were talking about this with J Lo. He can be.
You were talking about it with J Lo. That's pretty good.
About J Lo. He can be a dick at times, but it's hard to be that person and be wonderful to everybody.
I
Again,
don't think it's that hard.
I've said this before. Alec Baldwin has given millions away to charities and people and things in need, even out east. Like he just totally just saved a library like on his own. Nobody fucking knew about it for years, and it was just like he was just pumping money into this library. Like he's done Seinfeld too. Seinfeld paid for all his friends to come out and do stand up at a theater out here. I'll never ever forget that. There's one theater, the theater in Sag Harbor. Maybe I shouldn't be saying this. I don't know. But there's a theater in Sag Harbor. And one year, like Colin Quinn came, like all these huge names came. And we're like, how are they affording this? And then I found out through the grapevine that Seinfeld cut a check and was like, here, just go book whoever you need to. Because he wanted his friends to work and he wanted the community where he's hanging out in the summer to be like, have something happening. And then Justin Timberlake drove drunk through it and ruined the whole fucking thing for everybody.
Like a dick.
Like a total dick. Anyway. Boeing. Hat tip to Paul. He actually got this to me first. There's no huge story here other than the DOJ is suggesting a criminal prosecution of Boeing, which is big.
That's big.
It's big. That's all it is. That's all I have, though. They don't know what it is exactly or whatever, but they're recommending that charges be brought against them. Lord knows there's plenty available. Well, that's the thing. What it is exactly, we don't know yet. It's going to move on to the next level, but
we all suggested this. Everybody suggested it, but until there's actual physical charges, it's just suggestions.
Yeah. So this is a very quick one in that. Here's the story, and there's going to be a lot more to come. Of course, we'll have it for you because we're obsessed with Boeing, and we like playing with our lives. We're like the idea of like, hey, if we keep talking about this, somebody from Boeing might come over and whack us. No,
we're good. We'll love Boeing. Boeing's the best.
No problems here.
Nope.
Matthew Perry. This broke over the weekend. The cops seized the phone of a celebrity person of interest connected to Matthew Perry's death. So this celebrity who we don't know who it is yet, and this is very tabloidy, but there's obviously some truth to it. I guess In Touch had the exclusive first, but this woman was supposedly with Matthew Perry the day he died, and she was called into question when he died, and supposedly now for whatever reason they called her back. And they've interviewed her, and it's part of a criminal investigation from the Drug Enforcement Administration.
Wow.
Yeah. So I don't know who that is.
Someone that helped him get whatever drugs, or who knows?
I'm not entirely sure. I don't know what the connection is other than she's a celebrity. It's a she. She's a celebrity, and they've asked for the phone, and
it's all speculation. Who knows what involvement means?
Yeah. A woman was brought in for multiple interviews with law enforcement after the LAPD launched a criminal investigation with the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration and the U.S. Postal Inspection Service into the circumstances surrounding Matthew Perry's death.
Man.
Yeah. So.
And they say a woman, a celebrity. How do they know? I guess they can't release the name for I don't know what reason.
I guess there's some reason. Who knows?
All right.
Last story of the pod here. Ben Affleck was screaming at the paparazzi. I found this interesting because we had just talked about this. I feel like we've been talking about this all along with these two of like, how long is the paparazzi just going to follow this guy around and take pictures of him walking from a building into a car.
What is that? I mean, I get you got to get. Oh, does he have his ring? Is he with J Lo? But like the guy is walking from a building to a car, from a car to a building. I don't. I mean,
who cares?
Who cares?
You know.
But here we are talking about it.
It's true. But well, I'm talking about this because finally he snapped and got out of the car. But I have to give him credit for it too. And I'll put this on. You're not missing anything, Frank, if you haven't seen it yet. But I'll put it on. I'll throw it into the live chat. The TMZ video. They were the ones who had the exclusive on it. But he's coming down like his driveway, I guess. And so they're snapping away at him. They're snapping away. And it's like the lighting is like crazy, you know, like they're using these flashes and everything.
The guy's trying to drive his car and he can't see where the hell he's going.
Exactly. So he pulls out, and then he stops and backs up for a second and gets out of his car, and he's yelling, he's screaming at them, but at the same time, he's kind of holding himself back a bit, because I would be fucking through the roof if it were me. To
be honest, I don't necessarily blame celebrity when they get, you know, because it's nonstop, especially when it's like every day with the paparazzi just taking 75 pictures of this, you know, of him in his car. Like, what's that 75th picture got that the first 20 didn't have? You know, it's like, take 2 pictures if you desperately need a picture. Why does it like it's a million? You know, it just doesn't. It's frustrating, and I understand that. You know, I don't blame a celebrity when they're like, enough already. Holy shit. Yeah, I don't blame them either when they flip out like he did today. But that's kind of what he said. So he gets out of the car and he's like, "You guys got to stop." Like, it's not. He's like, "I can't." He's like, "I'm coming down the driveway. I can't see." He's like, "The lights are so blinding. I can't see." And you could tell he's got to look for oncoming traffic. And he says to one of the guys, "If that's my daughter," he's like, "you better not put her safety, you know, in danger," because he's like, "We're gonna have a real," whatever the fuck he said, you know. But I felt for him a little bit, because it, like, the light is blinding and they're all right there at the bottom of the driveway just snapping away. And like you said, what are you getting? Yeah, if you get like, you get 2 pictures, yeah, that's probably enough. Do you need to go through 100 pictures of him driving 10 feet away, then 5 feet away, then 2 feet away? It's like, how many pictures do you need of the guy? And I said this on an episode or 2 ago, and I mean it. Like, back in the day when we were buying tabloid magazines, when that was the only place that you could get a little glimpse of what their life was like, I understand the appeal and the excitement to it. I didn't take part in it, but I get it. Like, what are they really like? But now, in the era that we live in now, it's like most of them have social media. Most of them are giving you that behind the scenes look anyway. And haven't we all learned? Newsflash, they're just as fucking boring as you and I. Yeah, for the most part. I mean, every now and then you see one is like at a party that's like crazy, or like at the, you know, Met Gala or whatever. But it's like, for the most part, you know, they're cooking or they're doing whatever the hell they're doing, and it's like, all right, hey, that's cool, and you move on. Yeah, you don't need this, you know, whole huge story of them driving out of their house. It's like, yeah. And was this at daytime or nighttime? That was nighttime. Nighttime. Yeah. So you really couldn't. You can't. I mean, not knowing. So I saw the thing, and they're like, he screams at paparazzi. So I'm like, okay, I'll bite. And I watch it, and not knowing what he was screaming at, the first thing I thought was, boy, those are some bright flashes in his face. Yeah. Like, I wonder if that's what it is. The story should be paparazzi blinds Ben Affleck as he's trying to leave his house. Yeah. But since it's them who's writing it, he screamed at us. It's the other way around. Well, why? Why did he scream at you? You know, it's, you know, any other normal person coming out of their driveway. Yeah, I get you're in the spotlight. I get you're a celebrity and you kind of, that's the game. But it's like, when it's non-fucking stop like that, you're entitled to yell once. I feel like it's okay to get pissed at it once in a while. It's not okay to like punch a guy. It's not okay to smash someone's camera. It's not okay to, you know, to get physical. But to get pissed off at a million lights in your face when you're trying to drive your car, I don't really blame him for that.
No, I don't blame him for it either. I really don't. And like we've been saying, like who cares what he's doing?
Yeah. And what's the I can't imagine the assignment. Oh, we got 70, we got a picture of Ben Affleck every day this week. You know what? John, I'm going to need you to go down to his house and get a picture of him leaving his house. Okay.
Well, it's not even like that.
Can we use this one I got yesterday?
It's not even like that. They take the pictures and they put it on the wire, and then these outlets buy it. And that's kind of how. That's why there's so many of them, and it's such a mishmash everywhere.
Shouldn't that be like unionized though? Like, here's union photographers, and they're like, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Every article though, by the way, to your point, starts with whether or not he's wearing his ring.
Yeah,
because he wasn't wearing it the other day, and then the article I read like yesterday or whatever, he was wearing it, and so it's like,
there's nothing he can do, right or wrong. It's like he's wearing it or he's not. He puts it on, he doesn't. He's wearing gloves. Oh, the story's going to be about it now. He's wearing gloves. Is he hiding something? It's like there's nothing he can do that'll be the right thing to do, because it'll always be a story. Whatever, either he's wearing it or he's not.
Ain't that right, J Sabs?
Oh my God. I can't believe you guys are still on the first subject.
No, we're on the
last one.
Oh God. Well, let me just tell you. Of course you are. Really thought that you were on the first subject.
No, we're on Ben Affleck.
Okay. Well,
we did it. We did the thing. We're basically done. So go ahead.
Yeah. Oh man.
What do you want to talk about?
Maybe this is my lucky day. No, I'm just kidding. It's not actually.
What do you want
that could have gone wrong today went wrong. So there you go again.
What happened, J Sabs?
It's not a good sigh.
How funny would it have been if I just ended the podcast right there?
Would I have gotten mad? No, not really. I probably would have been like, damn, that was a good one. Let's see. So they celebrated summer birthdays at my daughter's school today. So she was one of 8. So
another thing we have to stop because this country is so soft.
What, birthdays? Relax, all right, Grandpa?
Yeah. Well, listen. Well,
here's your birthday party. So you're not a birthday person, so fuck you, Anthony.
Yeah.
I think in this society we should celebrate everything we can celebrate, and birthdays are fine.
I don't mean to pick a fight with Jay Sabs.
What about Trump's birthday?
No, I have no feelings about his birthday one way or the other.
I don't mean to pick a fight with Jay Sabs off the bat, but if I said to her, I want to celebrate my summer birthday before the summer, she would have called me a liberal pussy. But just because it's your 6-year-old daughter, it's
because
okay.
They're not in school over the summer, so everybody gets to have a birthday party.
No, he's right. No. So it was my job to bring in like a treat, and since it's a half day, I chose
Munchkins.
No, I chose how about this? Rainbow bagels.
That's terrible.
Bagels.
Oh no, the kids wanted bagels, so okay, fine.
All right.
So
hold on, hold on. Frank's having a heart attack.
I don't have a mute button.
Oh, okay.
That was a sneeze.
I thought this was the stroke we were all waiting for.
Are you waiting for a stroke from me?
Sorry, I don't know why I let that slip out.
No comment.
All right. Oh. Ouch.
You say ouch, but your wife has next week, just so you know. Watch your food. Okay, go ahead, Jason.
So this weekend was a extremely busy liberal weekend. It was my daughter's, both of them, their recital. It was the first time for one. No, I'm just kidding. It was I just want to say that
recital.
Feelings, that's why.
It was the first one for one and the third one for the other. But
anything that makes someone happy is a liberal thing.
It was all day Saturday, pretty much all day yesterday, because of course they couldn't be in the same recital, right? Because the dance school, whatever. It's a whole nother story, but whatever. So I had some car trouble, meaning my car didn't feel like it should. So I said, let me bring it to the mechanic. So anyway, I had to have my daughter's bagels in school by a certain time. But I wanted to make sure that no one would jump in front of me for the mechanic. Okay, so bagel place is right next door. So I go to the mechanic. I'm like, listen, I don't have his phone. He doesn't have a phone number. Like, it's hard to describe where he is. Anyway, I don't know his number. It's not on Google. Like, you can't just Google the name. Whatever. I was in a rush.
Sounds shady.
So exactly. So I was like, listen, I'm gonna bring back my car in like 15 minutes. And he's like, sure. He's like, what's wrong? And I'm like, I don't have time, but when I start it, it doesn't feel right. He's like, let me look. Well, all right, fine. He's like, yeah, it's probably your battery. He's like, did you need a jump yet? I'm like, no. I was like, it just feels weird. Okay, fine. He's like, come back. I get home because I needed to pick up the cream cheese and butter for the bagels. Go back out in my car.
The place you bought the bagels from didn't have cream cheese and butter? What the hell?
Oh,
kind of
no.
Place?
No, they're ridiculous with their price. So I bought it yesterday. I had this all planned out, so I wouldn't have to.
God, this is way too complicated. I would have just pulled your kid out of school and said, "We're not going into school today.
Yeah,
we're doing the mechanic. That's it, and then we're coming home. That's it."
Now you're sounding like Anthony. So anyway, I turned off my car, and then when I went to get back in my car to drop it off at the school, fucking died on me. It died.
That sucks.
So my battery. So moral of the story is, I have to learn how to change a battery in my car, and I'm wondering if Anthony doesn't know how to change a tire, I'm sure he don't know how to change a battery.
AAA comes and jumps my car when I need to. My old pals at AAA.
So
sounds like you need.
Yeah.
It sounds like you need AAA is what you need.
What am I, 90?
I'm saying they would have had you. They would have had bagels there. They would have driven the bagels to your school.
Ah,
that was part of the
So
commercial.
what did you do with the battery? How did you get it changed?
Now I'm freaking out. What the fuck? So anyway, I asked my neighbor. I said, "Listen," because I know he works from home. I said, "Would you know how to? Do you know how to jump and or start this car?" So he's like, "Hold on." So he comes out. He's like, "Well, I have something that tests the voltage, but not jumper cables." He goes, "Let me see." He goes, "Yeah, it's definitely a battery. Let's go buy one." So I was like, "Okay." So we went to the store, bought a battery, went back, and he changed the battery for me.
Hang on.
Go ahead.
You got in the car with your male neighbor alone?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Listen, for what he did, I would have hucked to you. Still don't know what that means, but that's okay. What?
Was your husband upset by that at all?
Oh my God, no way.
Okay.
Absolutely not. Why,
so did he change the battery?
You would have been upset, Anthony.
I would have told my wife to call me. Well, she would have called me. She wouldn't have just hopped in the give me the rundown on this neighbor. Is he elderly? Does he have gray hair?
No.
Maybe that's why it's safe.
No, he has no hair.
Okay, so anyway, moral of the story is he changed. I believe he said he does not know how to change a tire, but he knows how to change a battery.
I can't believe that. That's ridiculous.
Hilarious.
Okay.
That doesn't make any sense.
Right. Thank you.
You unscrew the battery, you take it out, you put the new one in, you screw it in, you connect the wires.
Right.
It's like a tire is so you could figure it out just by asking yourself what you need to do. What do I need to do to get this tire off the thing? Lift the car.
I'm telling you,
unscrew the tire.
It's
just common sense. It feels like common sense.
It's not as easy as you think, and I'm not really giving props.
It is as easy as I think.
No,
because I've done it 100 times.
No. My battery died, and I had to.
The battery might take some figuring out.
Yeah, well, it's hard. It's not as easy as you think because you got to loosen other things.
I'm talking about the tire.
Tubes. Oh, okay, all right. Okay.
The tire seems like it should be pretty common sense based on what you need to do. I need to take the tire off my car and put a new one on. What do I need to do that? lift the car, take the tire off, put a new one on, screw it on, drop the car.
All right, Frank, listen, let's not derail this story because it sounds like to me by this time the cream cheese and the butter has spoiled and we might have it. We might have a food poisoning case at the end of this.
Did you poison all your daughter's classmates?
No. How about this? I used my mom's car to bring the bagels with the cream cheese.
Jumping a battery right now. What's happening?
Laundry. Hey, listen. You guys don't know. You just don't know how it is to be a woman in this country.
That's true. I guess doing laundry while doing a podcast, I guess, is what it's like to be a woman. What the hell does that mean?
That's so sexist, J Sabs. How dare you?
Honestly.
So anyway, moral of the story is I have to learn how to change a battery because I feel like
you didn't watch him do it?
I did sorta. It didn't really look that hard, but
yeah, it just sits there and it's like, from what I understand, I've never changed a battery, but I've had them changed. There's like a depending on the car, there's like a bar that goes over the battery. You have to unscrew that so that the battery sits in place. You unscrew that, you disconnect the wires, you pull out the battery, put the new one in, you lock the bar that holds the battery down, you screw that on, and then connect the wires. I think that's all it is. I'm probably missing a step or two, but that's my guess.
Right.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's a step I'm missing, but I don't know.
It was something like that.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's it for most
The step
cars.
you're missing is hello, AAA.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Hello, AAA. Can you get here in 4 hours? Okay, great. I'll just be sitting here.
I'll be at the pizza place.
Yeah.
You know what? We used to have AAA. I'm not sure why we don't have it anymore.
I'll be eating 2 dozen rainbow bagels.
Because your husband let it lapse. Because if it was up to you, it would have been renewed.
Yeah,
but
probably.
if you left it up to the man, he would have forgotten to renew it.
Right.
That's exactly what happened.
Oh,
AAA is great. AAA is great.
So did the kids get the bagels?
Oh yeah, and they were so happy with it. And I told the teacher, I almost had to hock to you for this. No, I didn't say that to her, but it's not unlikely that it wouldn't, right?
How much could they be charging for? I have so many problems with this story. How much could they be charging for cream cheese that you had to go back and forth?
Do you want to know?
Yeah, because at my bagel place, if you buy a dozen bagels, they give you cream cheese.
Yeah.
No. Okay, let me ask you a question. How much do you think a bagel with cream cheese costs right now?
Yeah, that's a great. It is more than it should be because that should be $1.99 to $2.99 in an affluent area, and I bet you it's more like $5 or $6.
It is $3.50 at the place where I go to, which to me is fucking astronomical.
Yeah, but you're talking about a bagel with cream cheese. I'm talking about getting a dozen bagels and then a half a pound of cream cheese. That's going to be cheaper.
Okay, half a pound of cream cheese, I think was $7.50.
That can't be right.
No, it is, because here's the thing, Frank. They know you're going to pay for it because they know you don't want to go to a different store. So they're going to make the convenience but charge you more. That's how they get you.
So what did you end up paying for it at the other place?
I paid $3.49, but I got a whole tub of it.
Oh, so that's better. Good job.
It is, but I was at the store yesterday, so I was like, I'll just pick it up here because I'm here. You know what I mean? Like, whatever. It's easier. It's just whatever. But
I would have just went to Dunk's, just picked up some, what's it called? Munchkins, and then be the end of it.
Okay, Frank, let me ask you this. When's the last time you bought Munchkins?
I don't know. A couple years ago, maybe.
I want you to tell me how much you think 25 Munchkins are.
A couple years ago, I buy
like 25 Munchkins.
Thing? I have to do that at least 3 or 4 times a month.
Well, I don't have kids. We bought them when we went to someone's house. And we brought them over, to bring something. Like it was like a breakfast thing.
Someone's house, his other friend.
I don't.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, because they didn't bring it to my house. They bring it to your house, see?
No.
Anyway,
I want to know how much you think.
I don't know. I can't even. I don't remember. $15.
Okay.
Is that right?
You're close, yeah, because of 50 is that. I know I've done this in the store. I go, give me 50 munchkins, and then they tell me how much it is, and I go, make it 25.
25.
I've done that.
So actually, 50 is $15, and 25 is $10. But it used to be way cheaper years ago.
No. That's incorrect. There's no way that's right.
Go look at your Dunkin' app right now.
I'm going to go to the app right now. There's no way.
Are you looking at the app,
correct.
J-Sabs?
I'm looking at the app.
There you go.
25 munchkins is...
That's good.
$10.
That's a good price.
Frankie used to be $5.99.
Yeah, and also you also used to go to the movies for a nickel. But what do you want me to tell you? We used to do a lot of things for a lot cheaper, but that's not the case anymore.
I can't find it on the app because Dunkin' Donuts suddenly closes at 6:00 now. What happened when Dunkin' used to be open 24 hours a day?
Right.
It's open 24 hours by me, baby.
Did you live out in the middle of nowhere. Did you talk about the huck to your girl?
Yeah, like last 5 episodes ago.
Man, I'm telling you right now, I am in end of the year hell at school.
Are you?
Just so much going on, and between that and the golf outing stuff, I don't even know.
Good prizes.
We got some good prizes.
Very nice.
Well, you obviously want to talk about Hawk to a Girl. I said that I wouldn't be that's not my thing. I don't care for that.
Can I know exactly like what did she mean by that?
Shit, she's right. It is.
What do you mean? What did she mean by that?
I was right. Like, was she just saying like she spits on a penis?
Look, see, she doesn't know either. She doesn't know you'd made Frank's point before.
No, I didn't know because I didn't see the video with the audio. That I just saw a gif of it, and I thought I was looking for a piece of spit coming out of her mouth. That's what I thought the joke was, that she spit on the guy she was talking to.
Oh, really?
That's what I thought it was because I didn't see the whole thing. So I was like, why is this such a big deal? So she spit a little when she talked, but I couldn't find any. I was like, I don't see any spit in this video. What is she talking about? Then we started talking about it on the podcast. And I was like, is that right? And then I saw the full video, and she talks about the guy asked her, what do you do in the bedroom or something?
What do you got to do to get a man or keep
a
man?
Keep a man or something. And she goes, oh, you got to do that. And that was it.
Wait, so tell me what it is, because I really don't know, because I actually missed out on the original.
It's exactly what it sounds like.
Yeah, spit on a dick. That's what she says.
Oh, That's old news.
Well, that's what it is. This is what we're dealing with today.
Here's the thing with Janine though. Just now, people assume it's got to be crazy. That just speaks to the level of virality that this has for all. It's unexplainable because it's not that big of a deal.
No, I think it's just a funny reaction. It's like there's memes that don't it doesn't make sense unless you apply it to something. Or I think this was just another, hey, this is a funny kind of thing, and I think it just caught some kind of attention because it was funny.
It's weird how that happens. I'm fascinated on why now, why this moment.
Yeah, I don't know. Out of nowhere, it just catches fire, and that's it. It takes off. We're talking about it 2-3 episodes now.
Really?
Yeah, and Robin's right. The way she said it is funny. And
maybe that's Anthony, what it is.
Your mic is muted.
I'm sorry. Here, do you want to hear the original thing?
Yeah.
Okay, here.
Oh, you gotta give him that. I go crazy every time. Oh, you gotta give him that huck to his head on that night.
So the question was, what do you do that makes a guy go crazy every time? That was the actual question.
Right.
So, which again, I think is disgusting. I said this last time, and I mean it. If a girl did that, I would be like, this is our last date. I'm not calling you back. It's not happening. I think it's a little disgusting. I don't find that appealing at all.
I think you're lying.
I think it's, again, one of those things that happens in porn. Here's what happens. These things happen in porn because they're pros and they're doing it all the time. You know, it's like things that happen in baseball, or like when you see the golfer like balance the you know, he keeps hitting the ball up in the air and then he's able to swing and drive it. Like when you're a pro, you just develop things that are unnecessary and the common people don't really do.
Right.
And so that happens in porn, and now all of a sudden people are trying to replicate it and do it, and it becomes this thing of like, why are you doing this? This isn't, you know, this isn't a thing. This is not real, you know.
Well, whether or not it is, the video is the point. It's not the. I don't think it's the video of her saying the thing that's the joke.
No, I'm just saying, like, people like for her, like, she must think the reason why she answered that way, that's a good thing, like that's what you do. I mean, I know there's people who do it. It's just, I feel like it's a thing that's, it's only people do it because somebody did it in porn and now everybody's doing it. And I bet you I could come up with a list of 15 things if I really sat down and thought about it that occurs in porn that does not really need to happen in real life.
Okay, shoot. Let me see if I've done it. Go ahead. Go. No.
Well, I'll tell you one. This is going to get disgusking. I don't know if we should be talking about this.
So,
no, just tell me one. Just tell me one.
Okay, I'll give you one I'll give you one, and then we got to go. A guy finishing on a girl's face. I mean, it seems so unnecessary. Who came up with this? I
don't know who did.
It feels like such a commonplace thing now, I guess, but it's very, very strange when you think about it. You know?
I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. God.
You disagree?
Can I tell you something?
Write it.
Can I just tell you something quick with that? It ain't me, so thank God. So before Frank freaks out. So I had a boss, ex-boss who.
I can't wait to see how this is related.
Yeah,
Finished
I know.
On your face? What?
No. He was married for a while and then he got divorced. So it was like it opened up a whole new world, online dating. It was like, you know, a kid in a candy store, but with boobs and vagina, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he said this one girl asked him to do that. And he was like, what? And she's like, yes, please do it. And he's like, I'm not doing that. And she got upset with him for not doing that. So, and I don't know. You never know. I don't know what was going through her mind. Like, did she ask to impress him because that's what she thought he wanted?
I would love to know the truth here. Yeah, good question.
Or did she really?
Did she really like it?
Right. But it was like, he's like, out of everything, I just can't do that. That's disgusting. And I was like, so you know what I called him? Pussy.
This was your boss.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And you were talking about this probably not even in the office, Frank. It was probably in the weekly meeting.
Yeah.
Probably.
With the HR person taking notes.
Remember Anthony, the positive focus? You remember this?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember positive focus.
Yeah.
I do.
All right. Great podcast, everyone.
Frank's getting uncomfortable. When we talk about porn, that's not his area, I don't think.
It's probably because Frank likes to jizz on women's faces all the time.
That's
like,
okay.
They got me.
It's fine.
That's my thing, man. That's what I do.
Frank likes to jizz on his own face. That's what I heard.
I hear it's good for the skin.
Probably.
Isn't that supposed to be?
You know what I can't stop thinking about? The line that you repeated from Seinfeld last episode about the hair. About how you kiss somebody on the head and the hair.
Yeah, that's Seinfeld's joke. You kiss someone right on the head, but when that hair comes out of their head, it's the most disgusting thing in the world.
It's suddenly disgusting. All right, Janine. So the kids got bagels. Everybody was happy?
Everyone was happy. I'm just... Oh, wait. Then one more thing. My husband he had to do something today. Can't really talk about it. I could tell you next week of 4th of July. Okay. If you're coming. If you don't want to be a bitch like someone else. I'm just kidding, Frank.
Jeez.
He'll just be, someplace cooler. That's a fact. So... True. I couldn't decide what I was gonna make steak, but then he was gonna be late, and I had no idea he was gonna come home. What time he was gonna come home? So you can't heat up a steak. You just can't. Not in this household. So anyway, knew he was gonna be late. So I said, you know what? I have like this marinated chicken that I bought. I'll make it. Well, it was the most disgusting fucking chicken. It was so salty. I was like, what the? I spit it out, and I was like. But honestly, my day is not going great. It's almost done.
So this was all today, the battery and the bagels?
Yeah, battery bagels and bad chicken.
And salty chicken.
And salty chicken. Oh, it's bad. When you have a bad dinner at the end of a bad day.
Yes.
That's a rough.
That's a mother. Hey, it's only Monday. You got a whole week to go.
You can turn it around. Good point, Frank.
Yeah. Tomorrow's
Because
gonna be
you count on dinner to salvage that day. Pick it all, tie it all, get it all together.
You know what salvages the day? This podcast.
Oh, good point, Frank. Good.
End of the day, you wrap up the day with this nice coming together of friends.
There you go. I like that.
Thank you.
That sounds very nice.
Remember to buy Oval.
Do you know, Janine, you can't even bring food into my school, my kid's school?
At all?
You can't call ahead and be like, we're bringing in whatever?
No, he means for allergies, right?
Yeah. Can't bring anything. Nothing.
Pizza? Nothing.
Nothing.
That's
Can't bring them.
man.
You can't bring treats in. Yeah, into the school. Because I have the same thing. My daughter has a summer birthday. And actually, you want to hear 2 seconds? So my wife goes to do she's the mystery reader because it's my daughter's birthday, because everybody has mystery reader on their birthday. Since she's got a summer birthday, she comes in, and then my daughter got mad at my wife for not bringing in goodie bags for the whole class. Yeah,
you can't bring in candy, nothing.
No, nothing. And so what they wind up doing is putting together goodie bags of stickers and pencils and it's like, who needs that shit? I mean, I know it's exciting for a kid, but Cuddles asked me, she's like, should I put something together? And I go, no.
Well, that's good. A goodie bag of that kind of stuff for kids. That's not good.
I know, but it never, because we're going to wind up dropping $1,000 to $1,500 on her fucking party anyway. I'm not spending another $90 to give kids shit that they're going to lose by the end of the day. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's not about that. It's about them getting something. If they lose it, it's on them.
Let them get a fucking munchkin then, like we did back when America was great. Am I right, people?
Exactly. Back then, when a whole 25 munchkins were $2.
Yeah. Exactly.
In 1941.
All right, that's it for us. I don't know what to do because Janine is still here. It's awkward. I don't know. I'm not sure how to end the show with her.
I bet you she's gone now.
I don't know.
No, she's still here. She's gonna ride it all the way out.
She's hanging.
Pick up Oval. Link in the description. We'll see you guys on Wednesday.
Show me potato salad.
Show me. I'll tell you.
We should go now. Go ahead.
Oh, she left now. She didn't make it. See?